Hey Chris, how's it going? Congratulations, man, on your 300 plus subs. That is incredible. Super awesome. You deserve every single one of them and then some. This is my entry into that really cool contest of yours. You want to know the worst movies we've ever seen, whether it's been on a DVD or in the theater. I just did an entry where I talked about the worst movies I've ever seen in the theater. And my all-time worst movie, everybody by now should know, was House of the Dead. Absolute worst for every reason known to man. Just a terrible, terrible movie. So, even though in past reviews I've talked about these movies, these are the ones that I'm using for your contest, because these are also incredibly bad, extremely lame movies for different reasons, and I couldn't narrow it down to just one, so I'll try to hurry it along a little bit. We all know that a lot of times the sequels are not as good as the originals. That almost goes without saying. Sometimes the sequels can be a little better than the originals, and sometimes they could be right on par. This is none of those. This is just a crappy, horrible sequel to what was a very cool movie. The movie I speak of, let me take it out of the slipcase so you get the stupid sticker off of here. It's Lake Placid 2. See that thing there that says unrated? You think you're in for some really awesome stuff when you see the unrated symbol. You're not. This is just a really bad CGI fest. They got Cloris Leachman to fill in, not to take over the role that Betty White played, but to play a Betty White type role. Supposedly her sister in this one. It was just horrible, horrible CGI. It looked like something that should have been showing on the Sci-Fi Network, which it, for all I know, it probably was. But it didn't have that feel that the first one had, and it was just hokey, not fun. It just wasn't fun. Usually, even in a bad movie, like if you get like, oh, I don't know, Mega Piranha or Sharktopus, okay, at least those you can kind of have fun with them to some extent, even though that's another bad CGI representation. This one I couldn't even be like, yeah, Croc got him. Didn't care. I didn't care. By the middle of the movie, I was just kind of like, do I just finish watching it or do I turn it off? Maybe take a nap till it's done? I don't know. Just bad. It was a bad, bad movie. And considering I might try to sell that later, maybe I shouldn't be downing it so bad. Just talk about how great it was. But, no. This one I did during my 12 and 24. And the opinion has not changed whatsoever on this one. And I still see it for the same price everywhere I look. They're still trying to dump this movie for $2.95. $3 at Big Lots. And that's too much for it. And is this movie, Are You Scared? This is like I said before, it's a really bad rendition of the Saw movies. They took the Saw formula and just basically did everything in the world wrong with it. The effects were cheesy. The setup was cheesy. The plot holes were big enough to drive a damn Winnebago through. There was a little gore in it, but for the most part, you just didn't care. You just didn't care. It was just unbelievably sappy, silly. The acting sometimes is a little too over the top, unbelievable, unmotivated. I mean, if you're going to watch a movie like that, just grab the damn Saw movie. Okay, that's basically what it comes down to. Except in this one, this guy wasn't really trying to teach anybody any real lessons from what I could tell. He was just setting them all up to lose. The thing was that they were such dumbasses that in situations where they should have got out okay, they didn't, and you just had to sit there wondering, well, what happened? One scene that I had brought up before was a guy finds himself in a dark room. There's tripwires everywhere. Somehow he gets the lights to go on briefly, but then he has to turn them off because there's sun lamps beating down at him and burning his skin and stuff, so he has to turn it off for a while. Well, he sees that he's surrounded by shotguns. How does one get out of this situation? Well, first of all, if you don't have a way out, don't move. Do not move. They're all around you. Something's got to give. Obviously, the exit door is not where you want to go because there's going to be something in your way, which this ding-dong didn't seem to grasp onto, and gets his shit blown away. And well-deserved. Just too many goofy moves. You get people who are at one time panicking. Why am I here? What am I doing here? This isn't right. Why am I here? And then they find out it's a game show that they apparently had applied to be on and tried out for and sent in a tape for and everything. And now this is huge surprise that maybe they should have thought, oh, hey, it might be that game show I tried out for. And then even when they find out it's a game show, by this time a couple of them had gotten hurt. But it seemed to be okay because it was a game show. Look, if I tried out for The Price is Right, and their way of getting me on the show is to chloroform me and break 3 of my ribs, and I wake up in the green room with Perrier and a sandwich, I'm not going to say, hey, all right, The Price is Right. I'm like, what the? My ribs, man, you broke my ribs. Let me out of here. This is insane. No, no more crackers. Just get away from me. I want out now. Where's my phone? Where's my stuff? I'd grab the first thing next to me and beat whoever came through that door. I don't care. You can't wound somebody and then make it all better by saying, surprise, you're on a game show. Stupid. 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 The movie was just dumb. And the top of this little mound, you know, there are movies that have stood the test of time. They were great movies. And along the line, someone's going to take that great movie and do a remake of that movie. Understandable. Sometimes the remakes come off okay. But sometimes, when you take a movie from another country and try to make it your own, you kind of lose something in the translation, or you just lose something in the production. And that's not just other countries taking American movies and turning them into garbage, such as the Turkish Star Wars movie, Turkish Superman movie. Basically anything Turkish that was ours, they took it and they just shit all over it. No. It's not just, we're not the only victims here. Okay? We are guilty of doing the same thing. We do take a lot of Japanese movies and turn them into American movies, or Spanish movies and turn them into American movies. For example, Quarantine, which was Wreck. We turned it into an American movie. Nobody liked that one. We take Dark Water and watered it the hell down to where anything that was effective in that movie, we just kind of said, no, we'll make it nice and pretty. So that sucked. But in this case, this very cool movie known as The Eye got a bunch of different people doing their versions of it from different countries. America did it with Jessica Alba. Give or take, you know, it's whatever. But this version, I don't know what they were thinking or why they were thinking it. This is the Indian version, or Bollywood version, I guess, of The Eye. It is called Nana. Think of the movie The Eye, think about everything that was right with it, and then just slip in parts that don't need to be there and just take away from anything that was good. It's almost a frame-by-frame reshoot of that movie. The thing is that for some reason they try to put a comic element in there, and the comic element isn't funny. It's like telling a bad joke during a very serious scene. You get that feel from it. Also, the special effects, or the makeup artist, I should say, the makeup artist must have been really hungover the day he showed up for work, because there's a kid in here who's supposed to be getting a brain operation, or operating on something wrong with their head. I thought it was cancer or something, but something wrong with their brain. And it's a girl, supposedly. And in the eye, the original eye, she's bald. Okay. And in the remake, I'm sure she's bald. And in this one, she's bald. The only difference is that if you can't tell that they're wearing a bald wig or a skull cap, you're just not paying attention. You can see the line going over the ear. You can see when the kid goes like this, raises their eyebrows, this crease from hell comes out of nowhere, where you can see where the skull cap starts. You can see the dark shade of hair underneath it, and worst of all, when the kid turns like this, you can see a tuft of hair sticking out from under the damn thing. It was so bad, and that nobody saw that nobody in the review room looked at it and says, hey, call Ding Dong back in here and tell him to get this right. We need to reshoot this scene. Nope, didn't reshoot nothing. And there's just, this movie's been done enough times and done better to even bother with this one. But if you're into horribly bad remakes of movies, this may just be up your alley. But as for me, no. Terrible. Heavy on the bull. So, those are my selections for the worst movies I've ever seen on DVD. I thank you for this opportunity to enter your fantastic contest, and I wish you much, much success on YouTube and in life, sir. Take care.